Hello, I'm Jill, the Google Pro, and we are going live today to talk about how to market your services-based business. If you are watching this recording later on YouTube, welcome. And if you're joining us live right now, so exciting to see you. I'm going to be joined in a few moments by Jenna from @Jenna's page, and we are going to be sharing everything we can with you about how to market your service-based business. Hello, nice to see some familiar faces in here and some new faces as well. I'm really excited to get together with Jenna today. She is a fellow Canadian, hit my FYP a bunch of times, shares great social media advice, and so we thought social media advice for service-based businesses and my advice, Google advice for service-based businesses. Let's get together and share what we know over a little lunch and learn. Hi, nice to see you. And hi to those who are just joining and who are watching the recording later on YouTube. The topic of today is how to market your services-based business. And so the way this is going to work is Jen is going to join me shortly, and she's going to give me advice for my business based on my Instagram presence. And then I'm going to give her advice for her business based on how she could get started with Google Ads. So if you have any questions for how to grow your services business, whether through social or other organic means, paid, free, any marketing questions you have about growing a service-based business, this is live for you. So feel free to just type your questions into the chat and we will answer all the questions we can get to. And hi to those that are just joining. My name is Jill. I'm in Toronto. It is, well, freezing today, but not as freezing as it has been lately. Let me know in the chat where you're joining me from today and if you have any questions at all about your services business. I see we have one or two realtors in here now. I've worked with quite a few realtors in my coaching business. You folks have very cool client base and very unique challenges. So any questions about how to grow your services business, that's exactly what we're here to talk about today. Hi, Jill, you are awesome. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you to say. Thank you. And then Kyle is my realtor. Do you have any good real estate CRM recommendations? I don't have any real estate specific CRM recommendations for you, unfortunately. But I'm going to make a note of that so that I can find that out from my people who specialize in real estate marketing. And I'm writing down your username. Kyle is my realtor, so that if I get an answer to that, I can let you know. And I saw Jenna's here as well. Let me add her as a guest. Connect. 3, 2, 1. We have Jenna.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. It's so funny that we are so close to each other geographically, but still connecting virtually.
I know. One day we'll be able to do this actually together, like in the backyard or something.
Yeah, we'll have a set. It'll be great.
Yes, but not when it's minus 17 Celsius outside.
Let us know in the comments if you're in Toronto. I want to know how many other people. Oh, joining from Houston. Cool, cool, cool.
Yeah. So for those who are joining us live or who are watching this replay later on YouTube, welcome. The topic of today is how to market your services-based business. And so I'll give you the quick spiel of why we're here today. Jen and I will introduce ourselves, and then we're going to be demonstrating some of our best advice for you. Hi, Missouri. Hi, London, England. Some of our best advice for you based on our businesses, but of course, we're here to answer your questions, so let us know what you'd like to know. So this live today, gotta love the FYP. Jenna hit my FYP for the first time maybe a month or two ago. It feels pretty recently. And I was blown away because, there are a lot of social media experts on TikTok. But what I love about you, Jenna, and your advice is you're not just saying the same crap that everyone's saying of be consistent and have content pillars and use a hook. Yes, that is all great advice. But you've brought out some really unique things like your attractors that you talked about. I hope we can get into that today and framing things in a different way. And so I was so excited that you agreed to go live with me today and share some of that because I absolutely love when you hit my FYP.
You're the sweetest. I think what's kind of making me stand out is I'm talking about marketing. Like Instagram is the main focus, and that's what I teach. But marketing principles you can apply across whatever platform that you're on. I just frame them as an Instagram thing. And that's so, like, yeah, we want to grow your followers. Yeah, we want you to get more engagement and use engagement attractors. But really, we want you to be able to sell. And for service based business owners, they can have a really hard time because they're looking at this visual platform going, well, I can't just take a picture of RMT. I can't just take a picture of being a nutritionist. So it can be tricky, but it's like my favorite thing to sell is service-based businesses.
That's awesome. Well, for those who are just joining, welcome. I see Algeria. I see UAE. We got people from all over the globe joining us here today. So for those who don't know me, my name is Jill. I'm a digital marketing consultant, coach, and teacher. I used to work at Google. I say that a lot because got to use that. I worked there for
Oh,
6 years. And I left in April. And so I specialize in Google Ads and do coaching and teaching and of course, but also share other marketing tips. And actually, to your point, one of my best videos of all time is not even talking about Google Ads. It's talking about like a basic marketing funnel of getting someone to like know, like, and trust you. And that's one of my best videos of all time. So really excited to dive in. Jenna, why don't you introduce yourself for those who might not know you yet?
yeah. So, hi, I'm Jenna. I'm up here in Toronto, Canada as well. And I am a social media manager. We have a small firm. It's called Parkdale Republic, where people can totally outsource their social media to us. But I also teach small business owners, self employed people, people with side gigs, how to market the shit out of themselves, how to market themselves on Instagram. So, how to grow your Instagram, how to maintain it in 15 minutes a day, how to feel authentic instead of fake, and like marketing principles, how to actually get customers from social media. So that's me.
Absolutely. And so much marketing advice really focuses on, e-commerce and products and Shopify. So we're really excited to have this be very services specific today. So our only request, well, two requests of those who are joining us live today. First is ask us your questions. We will answer as many of them as we can. So keep those coming in the chat. And second, if you're enjoying this live today, just double tap on your screen a couple of times. That will send likes, which will tell TikTok that this is a great live and invite more people to join us today. So feel free to tap that screen as many times as you like. Ask your questions. We will answer them. And to those watching this on YouTube later, you can ask questions in the comments and we'll try to respond to those as well. Thank you to those sending likes. Amazing. We appreciate that. So let's take a question here before we dive into our businesses from Charles. Sorry. Can you make 2 to 3K per month right from the start just by consulting on this for companies? Do you want to take that first, Jenna?
Just by consulting on marketing?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. I used to consult and I made a pretty penny. I was charging like at that height, I was charging like 400 USD an hour just to consult. But what I was finding, like humble brag, but because it didn't work, it was a problem. What I was finding was people are then leaving the consult with more questions than answers. And you can give everybody all the strategy in the world, but you need to know the literal step by step how to implement, how to schedule that implementation into your life in order to get results. So that's why I launched the program, which is a group program, because you're going to get the strategy, but you're also going to understand how to actually implement it. I've also been, so now I'm ranting, but I've also taken over for clients with my firm for full social media management who have paid thousands of dollars for a marketing strategy that they then took home and had no idea what to do with. So like, I mean, if you want to consult and you have clients that are asking for consults, do it, man. Like give them everything. But for me, I found that people need the like how to implement in order to get the biggest results.
Yeah, and I would say something similar. Like I make between $20,000 to $25,000 a month Canadian in my consulting, coaching, teaching business. A portion of that comes from me actually doing people's Google ads for them. But every month that portion gets smaller and smaller. So for me, I started my business by doing, because I think before you can consult on something, you have to be able to do it. Like see one, do one, teach one. And then as I was doing it more and more and learning more and more lessons, I've slowly shifted and shifted to the point that I actually don't take on clients anymore where I 100% do the Google ads for you. I consult, I coach, I teach, but some of that coaching means I'm meeting with someone an hour every single week to help them and walk them through and advance their skills. So can you make 2 to 3K a month from start? Absolutely. But I know that Jenna and I were not the kind of creators who were like, just do this and you can make all this great income with these easy steps. Like, no, you got to put in the work. It's not going to just happen overnight. I see Sarah asked, what kind of questions can one ask in this live? Thank you for asking. So we're here today. A great question. We're here today to talk about any questions you have about marketing your services business, growing your services business. So I see one question we've had in here from Freya. Freya, it looks like, is an artist and want to know some marketing that an artist could try. So why don't we start with that? I'll take a stab at it, and then Jenna as well. If you're trying to market an artist, and I assume we're going to lean more towards the free strategies before kind of getting to the paid strategies and what might you want to do. So I have one or two ideas, and then Jenna, I'm sure Freya would love to hear ideas as well. So the first thing I would think about when you're an artist is you have both products and services. You have your actual art you can sell, and then you have other products you can sell, whether it's like notebooks or mugs or things that contain your art. But then don't forget, as an artist, you also have a skill that other people might want to learn. So one way you could make money, for example, is by offering painting classes, or even more than that. I know that when I worked at Google, and a lot of companies do these, like, what do they call them? Like team building activities. And so we actually had a team building activity where an artist sent like paints and a brush and a canvas to all of our homes, and then led us in this 1-hour workshop where we all painted remotely, and it was led by an artist, and that was a great other source of income for that artist. So the very first step for you that I'd advise is think about all the different ways you could take your artistic skills and monetize them, is the fancy way we say it, but just turn that into ways you can make money. And then once you've figured out the ways to have products and services and a mix of both, think about, okay, now how am I going to market those things? That's kind of the first piece of advice I'd give. What do you think, Jenna?
Okay, I love that. So I've actually worked for like a handful of visual artists this year. So I'm fresh.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of talk about one of the instincts I see that artists have that I would challenge you to like switch, which is the instinct to make your Instagram a portfolio. Because that is what Instagram used to be like that's one of those tactics that kind of used to work, but everyone's sitting here on TikTok, right? Like we know what content can be now, and it's really opened up. So I would challenge you to make your website your portfolio and find other creative ways to utilize Instagram for your marketing. So showing me a little bit about yourself, showing me your process, showing me behind the scenes, showing me you in your studio. I had a painter in my program this year who, like after say 6 weeks, revealed she had an entire studio with like a gallery that was just hers, a gallery, and I'd never seen it on social media. I'm like, this gives you so much clout. Knowing that you have a gallery, like a stunning gallery in the middle of like Victoria, BC, makes me immediately ready to spend a few $1,000s more on each piece, right? And furthermore, one thing that she would do was she would make the buying experience of a piece of art like an experience. So if someone ordered something custom, she would like put it up on the wall, like in a prime location in the gallery, and have a private reception for the reveal for the client. So you'd come in and she'd have like tea and cookies or champagne or whatever, and like a seat for you to like have this reveal. Put that online. Like that makes me, I'm not only buying a piece of art that I get to keep forever, but I get to have like this personalized buying experience. Holy smokes. Amazing marketing. And then when you share that online, they're going to share it with their rich friends, and people are going to see that happening, right? So and use Instagram in a variety of different ways. Think about different ways that you can use the platform and use short form video and all of that to sell your thing.
Absolutely. And we have a few more questions here we're going to get to now. Just a reminder, if you're liking this live, just double tap your screen a bunch of times. That'll send likes and get more people to join us, just like happened a few moments ago. So a very quick Google question I'll answer, and then I say two people have a similar question we can tackle next. So Dealer wants to know, is Google Skills Shop a good place to learn about Google Ads? Absolutely. Google Skills Shop is the official certification from Google in Google Ads. It's totally free and absolutely worth the investment. So yes, I would say that. But I saw Sarah and Amira both have similar businesses and asked us about how to market them. So Sarah has a virtual school and is having trouble finding people for her school. And then Amira leads coding classes and coding lessons and is looking to find people. So education, services, and how to market those. So do you want to take a stab at this one first, Jenna? And then I'll step in afterwards. Ideas for selling education services.
Okay, so again, so I'm like not helping, I'm indirectly helping. I want to just give you some things to think about when you're selling something to youth, right? So coding for kids, she said, right?
Yes, I believe it was.
Right.
Yes, teaching kids, yeah.
So we need to think about like who is your marketing targeting, because if you have an Instagram account that's geared towards kids, well, kids aren't necessarily on there. So where are kids? And if you're targeting parents, then your messaging becomes different. If you're targeting parents, come get your kids enrolled. So this comes back to like niche and audience and conversations like that. So who are we really trying to get the attention of, and what words are going to resonate with them, right? We can't speak in kiddo language because we're trying to get mom and dad's attention. And then why should mom and dad care if their kid is enrolled in coding? Or what type of words are they using if they have no idea what coding is? They just know their kid came home asking about it. You know, that sort of a thing.
Absolutely, it's a great point, the different audience. And you can have the same product marketed to two different audiences, and that requires a completely different strategy. So something I'll add on to what Jenna said is once you have your two audiences, whether it's for your virtual school or coding or really any kind of education, you have the parent and then you have the student. For each of those, you can build a know, like, trust funnel, because people often don't just like go to Google, say, learn how to code, and boom, buy from the first person they see. They want to know, is this person credible? How is the course? Do people like it? What am I going to learn? Both when I say the parent can mean a lot of different things. I'm using that for simplicity's sake. The person who's paying, parent, and then the student may care about different things. So how do you get both parents and students to know that you exist? And the best place to do that is on this app right here, short form video. And then and I'm a Google expert advising that, okay? And then once they know you exist, what kind of content and information can you share to demonstrate that you are trustworthy, that you know what you're talking about, that your students are successful? These are the kind of messages you'll want to share. And, you know, to appeal to the younger audience, the person who's actually going to be taking the course, you want to make sure, right, that it's not boring, that it's exciting. Show some of the cool coding exercises or some of the final projects people came up with. Like my brother actually teaches computer science, the high schoolers here in Toronto. And I once went over and he was marking projects and they all had to make a game and code it. Like, how cool is that? Like, you could share stuff like that across your social channels to get the kids excited about what they can build. And then the parents may care about that, but they may care about something totally different. I doubt at that point they're going to care like, will this help my kid get a job? But just like, are you, as the adult who's going to be spending time with my child, trustworthy? And do you know what you're talking about? And why should I trust you with my child? Like, those are some of the things you might want to address. So different audiences and different content to serve them. And we have Rafat backing us up. The Google Skills Shop is incredible. Absolutely. And so Leah had a question here. I'm going to scroll back to it. What is the one single mistake you see service-based businesses make when trying to market their business? I have an idea about this, and then why don't you come in after me, Jenna? I think the biggest mistake I see service providers make is starting with selling. I see quite a few, whether it's on TikTok or social media or even a landing, it just goes right to like, buy from me. Here's what you should buy from me. I'm the best at what I do. Buy from me. And related to the point I made earlier, people need to like know you and like you and trust you before they're willing to accept a sales message from you. It's like if you showed up to a first date and you're just like, hi, my name is Jill, let's go make out. Some people might like that, but most people might be like, whoa, 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 like slow down there, we just met. And marketing can be like dating. It's just developing a relationship. No, you show to a first date. Yes.
Let's lean into that.
Okay.
There
Absolutely, right? So like a more typical way to start a relationship. Hi, my name is Jill. What's your name? Oh, nice to meet you. What do you like to do? Like, oh, let's have some nice conversation. We're feeling good. And then we say goodnight. And then we see each other again a few days later. And you build that relationship over time and build those steps together to learn if you're a good fit for each other or not before getting to closing the deal. So that's what I would suggest here is maybe don't try to close the deal right away. Bring people in to show them why they should like you before earn the right to sell to them. That's why I like to say it. Like it's not a given right to sell to anyone who comes across you. So earn the right to sell your services.
Yeah, I love that. So mistakes that I see, I mean, that's a big mistake. And you know what's ironic? That a lot of these people that are selling themselves first are also the people that are uncomfortable selling themselves. And that's the indicator. Like that's why you're uncomfortable is because you've missed this. Well, for me, know, like, and trust, I call it like growth, nurture, sell.
Yep.
So like I say it in like a bunch of different ways, but I always say that your content needs to have like three different gears. So growth or like outreach, and then nurture, make your followers fall in love with you, and then sell. And sell is the smallest. When I like depict it as a drawing, sell is the smallest gear, right? It's the thing we do the least. And if you're really uncomfortable with selling, well, maybe you haven't spent enough time listening. Maybe you haven't spent enough time getting to know people and dating and nurturing that relationship and hearing them out and providing value just for free for no reason, right? Because then when it's time to sell, you're just making an offer and you're not like pushing it on anyone. You're just like, here, you want it? Great, take it. It's yours, but no pressure.
Absolutely. That's like just something I talked about in a recent coaching session with someone. Like, you should feel like you're giving it all away for free. If you choose to use a platform like TikTok, or I'm going to speak to TikTok because that's what I know best, but there are other social platforms that Jenna knows much better than I do. Like, if you're using sharing value as the way to market your services and get people to know you, you should feel like you're giving it all away for free. Because as Jenna said earlier, the part that people have trouble with isn't finding advice. Like, throw a stone, you'll find 10 people trying to give you business advice. The hard part is taking that advice, determining if it's relevant for your business, and then actually executing it. That's the really hard part. So don't be scared that, oh my God, I'm going to give it all away. And so people like, no, because you give it all away, people will want to grow with you. Like, that's how you nurture them, to use Jenna's language. And then you don't even need to sell. They'll come to you and say, I want your services. Tell me, can I take you out on a date?
And ultimately you're giving away some how to. Sometimes my TikToks are like, do this, then this, then this, and then you'll get the result. But sometimes it's just a concept. Like, think about it this way. And once your consumer can think about it that way, then they're going to come to you for the exact step by step. And the concept is in service to your customers because people need to think differently before they can apply something, right? That maybe sounded a little bit esoteric, but like, someone needs to discover you and realize that Google ads are going to help them before they're going to dole out any money, do any research, or create any Google ads. Like, the realization that that's a solution, and it needs to be part of the strategy, right?
Absolutely. And it takes time. Like, I started my business now, I guess in May by accident. I'll call it like a real business as of June. And like, I was spending so much time on marketing and very little time on doing because I had to like get this ball rolling. And now I'm sitting here 8 or 9 months later, and like, I get at least one new lead every single day. And most of them hear about me from TikTok. Some hear about me because I've been on podcasts. I also love being a podcast guest, Jenna. It's great. None of the responsibility, just go and shine and back out after that. And it's great. And like, and I have to say no to most of them. Most people come to me, hey Megan. Most people come to me and say, hey, will you set up my Google ads for me? And it's like, oh, I'm really sorry. I don't do that anymore. But I can coach you if you want, or like refer you on to someone else who can help. And so you can get there, but I think another mistake I guess some service-based business providers can make in the beginning is like doing all the things for a month and then saying it's not working. And it takes time to work. It takes time to build that funnel and nurture those people and build that trust, and awareness.
Okay, can I add on to that another
Yeah,
panic?
actually, just so you know, we've had a question here. Any tips on creating value when you're just starting out? So I just wanted to point that out in case that was related to what you're adding here. Totally fine.
So, tips on creating value when you're just starting out. Can you tell us more about like what you offer? Poster? I
I
missed
see an Ann Volpezzi design.
design.
So sorry, Jen. I totally cut you off when you were about to say something.
That's okay. Okay, here. So let me speak to this panic thing that happens when you're not selling from Instagram. This is another reason that often people's sales content flops, is because when you haven't been putting in that groundwork, as we said, your consumer's not ready. But also, if you haven't taken time, like you were saying, you started in May, you started with your marketing and giving and providing value and nurturing and listening, and you did all of those things, and then the sales came. But say you skipped those things because you were too busy for your marketing, right? So you got your head down and you're building all these Google ads, you're doing all the work yourself, and you're not focused on marketing because you've got money coming in and you're doing your job, right? But then the work dries up. As it does, it comes in flows and cycles. The work dries up. So then you go, oh, snap, I need to market myself. And then if you wait until then to sell yourself, that desperation is all throughout everything that you create. So what you did was perfect. You were working while simultaneously marketing, right? Even when we have business and we have money coming in, we want to be selling ourselves and marketing and nurturing, like doing the marketing platforms, doing the TikToks, all of that, so that when it's time to like ask the universe for money, we're coming at it from this like place of abundance, as opposed to, oh shit, I don't have any work lined up next month, I better make a sales post. Because it reads like it reads, even if you are even if you're copying and pasting a post that you used when you didn't have that energy, like it reads. I can't explain why.
It absolutely does. It absolutely does. And for those who are just joining, we are talking about how to market your services-based business. So please feel free to ask us questions about services marketing. If you're enjoying the live, just double tap your screen a bunch of times. That'll send us lives. That'll send us likes and let TikTok know to send more people to this live.
Okay, I have my answer for value when you're just starting out.
Great.
Okay. I heard this explained once, and I'm so sorry that I can't credit the original person because I don't remember who said it. But they basically like drew a triangle. Who said this?
Okay.
A marketer. They drew a triangle and they put a line across it, like right here, right? And they're like, if you you don't need grade 12 chemistry to teach grade 2 math. You only need grade 4 math to teach grade 2 math, right? So you could build a empire with $1 million course if you have the ability to teach grade 2 math. So you only really need grade 4 math. You don't need to be like a mathematician to teach grade 2 math. So I think that's something to think about, because whatever you know about, dude, I have no idea, right? So even if you're just starting out, but you have enough knowledge of that industry to like be starting out, there are millions of people out there who don't know what you know. So you can teach like the simplest things and provide like what to you seems like the simplest piece of value. Like we're not on here making TikToks about the most complex stuff that we know. I'm telling you how to get more engagement. Like I'm telling you like the simplest pieces, because when you're just starting out, those are the pieces that you need. And the other thing is to think about value as just entertainment, education, inspiration. So it doesn't even need to be about like the specifics of your industry. It could just be you walking your dog and talking to other people, other like dog owners, and saying, oh, I took a break from my desk where I am a top-notch creator, or like, whatever it is you do, to walk my dog. And then that's still valuable content to like, I mean, it could look like anything is what I'm trying to say. Like your value content doesn't need to be academic.
Yes, it's such a great point. Value really depends on the audience. Like when I started creating content on TikTok, I just considered myself a Google Ads expert. And so I like didn't talk about other things because I didn't consider myself an expert in Google My Business or Google Analytics. Because yeah, when you work at Google, compared to a lot of people at Google, I was not the foremost expert in those things. And then coming outside of that universe and looking like the rest of the world out there, it's like, you know what? I actually am a Google Analytics expert, and I am a Google My Business expert, depending who I'm talking to. And so because of that, I've actually change the way I think about different audience on different platforms. So like on TikTok, on Instagram, my audience is fellow entrepreneurs and small business owners. And compared to that audience, I am the foremost Google expert. But then recently I've gotten more involved on Twitter, where the audience is different. The audience is other ads experts. And so in that audience, I'm not trying to pretend or act like I'm the foremost expert. I'm joining the community and engaging in different conversations there and like talking about things that I would never talk about on TikTok because the audience there cares about something different. And my objective there is also different. Like I'm hoping that over time, these are people who might buy my course or seek out my coaching, not to get started on Google ads, but to like really advance, expertise in Google ads. So you can have different audiences and different kinds of value on different platforms. Or you can say, I don't have that much time to market and still stick to one audience and one kind of value. And that's totally fine also.
Hey, you know why it's so funny that you say that? Well, one, there's a comment right now about the imposter syndrome is real. And I hear you.
Yeah.
And when I saw Google Ads expert in your bio, I was like, oh man, I'm so envious that she has the courage to use that expert word. Because not that you're not that I'm not that anybody's not, but it takes like authority to use the E word. You need to be like really confident and, like you say, need to know your audience in order to use the E word. And it can be so scary, and it like makes the imposter syndrome just like chatter in your ear, oh, expert.
Yeah.
Oh, expert, right?
And like invites the trolls too. Like the challenge, like on TikTok, I have 450 videos, like hundreds of thousands of views, and I can count on one hand the number of times I've had troll comments. Like it's just, why would you bother trolling me talking about Google ads? I don't know. But on Twitter, I think people really are much more like, well, I'm an expert, I'm an expert, I'm an expert. And like, if they disagree with what I'm saying, they come for me. Like I've had to use that block feature a lot over there because I have that expert, word in my bio. So there's like two sides to it. I'm newer to Twitter. I'm not sure if I want to stay engaged in that community because I don't see it as being very welcoming and open to different perspectives, which is why I went there. So like transparently, I'm debating, do I even want to be playing in that? Maybe I'd rather put my time and energy into sharing my capital E expertise on TikTok, where the community has been wonderful and warm, and where I in turn am learning from so many other experts like yourself. So that's something I'm kind of grappling with right now. Is Twitter worth it or not? I welcome your input in the comments.
What I'm hearing is showcase what you know to demonstrate how your service solves someone's problem. Ooh, okay, yeah, that is one piece of content that you can be creating, showcasing what you know and demonstrating how your service solves someone's problem. Even just pointing out what that problem is can be a piece of content. Pointing out what the problem is in the words that person is using. Showcasing it, I hear like, maybe that's some how to, maybe that's some social proof, like here's Sarah, and here's how she had this problem and now she doesn't anymore thanks to me. In terms of like value content, I think that that's like something that can be put into it, but also just telling people how to fix their problems can be content. Like it can all be content. You just need to like think about it differently.
Yes, actually, Jenna, I would love your advice about something. And to those just joining, welcome. We are talking about how to market your services with a social media expert and a Google expert here together. And so I would love your advice about like testimonials and reviews and sharing those on social. Because on the one hand, I'm like, I've been in business a couple months, I have some great reviews. I know that I shouldn't just post a review in my Instagram feed and call it a day. So I think I know what not to do, but I'm not sure what to do. Can you give some examples of how service providers like myself can share reviews in an interesting way to their audience?
I have so many opinions.
Okay. We want to hear them. We want to hear them.
Okay, so I need you, dear listener, to think about every single piece of content you put out there even your content, what I call posts that sell, even your content that's designed to like make a conversion, the sales stuff, to be in service to your follower, to be in service to the person who is reading it. So if you put out something that looks like a flyer, that's not in service to the person who is consuming it, right? So even when you're posting a testimonial, the question is, how do we make this interesting to a reader? Because we know testimonials are so valuable. It's in marketing, we call it social proof. It shows people that you're who you say you are. It makes people feel more comfortable purchasing with you. It makes people trust you. So testimonials are so valuable. But if we just slab say like a red background with like I got so many clicks on my Google ad, yay, thank you so much, that doesn't give anything to like the Instagram viewer. Okay, so what about this? Tell me a testimonial that you've gotten that's like that you're proud of. Can you think of one?
There's one from a client who runs an agency, and she calls me her secret weapon, has this testimonial because like her clients don't know I exist, but behind the scenes, I meet with her team regularly. I'm in their Slack channel. I'm their like secret Google expert that like I work with them almost every day helping them. So it's kind of like her secret weapon. And I love that. But I'm like, just posting that feels weird.
Okay, so perfect. So here's what we do. We're going to reverse engineer the post so that that testimonial, stay with me, is the evidence for whatever the first slide is. So the first slide in your like slide post is going to be 5 things going on behind the scenes in successful businesses that you don't know about.
And taking notes. Great. Yeah.
And then you're going to swipe through it and you're going to be like, SEO, the first thing. You can't see it when you read someone's website, but it's working behind the scenes. The second thing, professional social media management. You can't see the strategy someone's employing on social media. All you see is what they post, and it's impossible to know their professional strategy. 3, coffee. The third one's going to be a joke. 4, whatever, you know? And one
I love that.
Is going to be your service and what you offer. So say, how do you say it? Like, Google Ads getting you at the top ranked search on how do you say
have like the best Google Ads expert like at your fingertips or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And then you do your 5 things, and then the last slide is going to be this testimonial that proves that you're telling the truth, which is, we love her, she's our secret weapon, these Google Ads have brought in tens of thousands of dollars to our business.
That's amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome. So you take the testimonial, you reverse engineer it, and you're like, what is that the evidence of? Okay, now the post needs to be something that's going to give value, but I'm also teaching them about what I offer and then proving that I'm telling the truth.
And what I love about that is that the testimonial itself is not the post. Truth Student says, I love that approach. Yeah, I love that approach too. The testimonial is not the what, it's the so what, you know what I mean? It's like not the whole purpose. It just supports the purpose of something that actually adds value.
Yes, absolutely. And then another way that I like to use them is sneak attack.
Okay.
So say you are doing your sales post, you go like, is this the thing do you want more followers on Instagram? Do you want more engagement? Swipe, right? In my program, like I'm so shameless, like in my program, Magic Marketing Machine, you get blah, blah, blah. Swipe, testimonial, swipe. Here are 3 things that you can do to get more engagement. Do you know what I mean? So you're kind of like doing a post, but you pepper in the testimonial to one of them, and they're just going to like go past it. But the part of the testimonial's purpose is like actually reading it. And part of it is just knowing positive testimonials exist.
Yes. Having like the stars there and just being like, someone likes it. Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you. And I can see some of our viewers do as well. All right. I know we only have a few more minutes here today before we have to get back to our client work and all that other good, and marketing our businesses and all that other good stuff. So if you're just joining us, welcome to the last few minutes of our live for today. You're here with Jenna and Jill from Toronto, Canada, and we're talking about how to market your services. If you're enjoying this live, you can double tap that screen for us to send us some likes. And if you have any other questions you would like to ask a social media expert, a Google expert about how you can market your services, this is your chance to do so. We have 31 viewers here with us now, and we would love to make sure that we answer your questions.
We're getting so many good questions. We're not even getting to what we planned for this live because of all the good questions.
Yes, so we had a plan for this live. We were, oh my God, if no one's going to ask questions, okay, I'll just give Jenna advice and Jenna will give me advice and you will all learn from that. I still managed to sneak some of Jenna's advice out of here, so thank you. We've been getting great questions from everyone, so thank you so much for your participation today and for engaging us with your businesses. Okay, Peter has a question for us. Hey guys, I'm starting to market my business on TikTok. Where do I begin?
You go.
Yes, I will say, shameless plug, I have a TikTok for Business course that's linked in my bio. So I think that's a great place to begin, but I'm going to give you the sneak peek of the beginning of it so you know what it contains. And the best place I say to getting started marketing your business on TikTok is participate before create. Just like if you were to go to a foreign country for the first time, you would probably Google like how to say thank you in Italian, or like what some common Italian foods are if you didn't know before you landed in that country. So first, Peter, what I'd advise you to do is look to other creators in the niche you're planning to reach. Niche just means like the target audience and topic that you're planning to engage on, and what are the conversations that are happening, and just start commenting on other people's posts, just participating. And then once you feel a bit more confident with that, then don't try to start from scratch. Start by just duetting or stitching an existing video, right? A lot less intimidating than trying to create your own value from scratch is to just add more value onto someone else's. And as you do that, that'll be a way to participate in the community, understand the norms, and understand where you fit in before taking the leap to becoming a capital C content creator for your business. So that's how I recommend getting started on TikTok. Don't try to go from 0 to 100. Participate, then create.
Capital E, expert. Capital C, content creator. Capital J, Jill and Jenna.
There we go, J. And another J actually has a question that I'll let you answer, Jenna. What social media marketing resources do you recommend?
Okay, well, my program, Instagram Your Magic Marketing Machine, waitlist in bio. But also, if you're like a strategy brained person, I really like the social media marketing podcast because they stay up to date on all sorts of trends. So if you're starting out, don't go there. That's a little bit much. If you're starting out, I have a free download in my bio and a program in that. But if you're like, I don't know where you're at, Jay, but like if you're ready to like think of some bigger, broader digital marketing strategies with social media at the forefront, then that's a great podcast to go to.
Great. All right. Well, thank you everyone so much for joining us here today. Thank you, Jenna, so much for joining me live today. Really was such a pleasure to learn from Jenna, to share some of my capital E expertise, and to get to chat with all of you about your businesses so that we can all grow together. This replay will be live on my YouTube, link in bio. Sure, Noor, I'll hang around for you. So if you want to catch some of this later, if you joined later and want to see the beginning, by this evening, this will be on my YouTube channel as well, which is linked in my bio. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Wonderful. And I saw Noor had a last question, so I'll hang around for her. But then we'll shut down the live after that.
So welcome to all there. It's so nice to see so much interaction. And thanks for having me. We should do this again.
I would love to. And I saw you were actually live on Instagram this morning. That's one that I have not done yet. So I'm like, ooh, I have to try going live on Instagram now.
Yeah, we can do that together if you want.
Really?
Of course.
Oh, yay. I would love that. All right. So you can see us both live on Instagram soon. Nora says, I'm a marketing expert, but I need help increasing my digital hands-on experience. Where do I start? Yes. Thank you for asking, Noor. So like if you have the theoretical expertise to do something, but you need more practice of just doing it, how do you do it? Lots of different conflicting advice I've seen on this before. So what I would say, and Jenna, please feel free to disagree with me if you have different advice. What I would say is if there are people in your network, friends, family, whatever, who could use your services, then I would suggest offering your services not for free, but just not for money, in exchange for a video testimonial at the end, a review on your Facebook and Google and everything at the end, feedback throughout. Like they'll be compensating you with like feedback and social proof instead of money, which will help you get that hands-on experience, in return get the reviews you need to go out and find more clients. What I'd also suggest, if you're comfortable with it, is the process of you doing and getting the experience, create content out of that, which is also going to help you get more clients later. So that is what I would advise. What do you think, Jenna? Our last question and last answer for today.
I love this comment. That is what I call a fruitful live. We're not holding back. So I agree. Basically, you're going to look for opportunities to create a case study, right? So you can either go out there and get clients for less than, the dog is wrapped in my curtain right now. It's actually pretty adorable. Okay, so go out there and either work for in kind or lower than the rate that you want, with the open communication that it is because you want those testimonials at the end. So like make that agreement at the beginning that you're going to be able to track what you do as a case study and then receive testimonials when you provide what you've said you will. If you do want to do it for free, you can offer this like a free service to a charity or an organization that you stand by. So I still will offer the occasional discounted rate to a cause that I really stand by. I used to work in film a lot, so sometimes a documentary will come to me that's really something that I want to help get out there on race or something like that. So that's an opportunity. But like going out there and, as they say, make your own work, but make sure, as Jill said, to track it along the way, find other ways to create content out of it, and get those testimonials at the end.
Awesome. Well, thank you again so much, everyone. If you want to hear more from Jenna and myself, of course, you can follow us here, but both of us have our Instagrams linked from our profiles as well. We both have newsletters and all that kind of stuff. So just visit the links in each of our profiles if you'd like to hear more from us. Thank you so much for joining us today, and hopefully we'll be on your